and welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do. Like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover some new ones, all the usual places in podcast land, including iTunes and Apple Podcasts. It's Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, WFPK.org, or right here on YouTube for the video versions. I'm Kyle Meredith. Today, I get to talk with Monica Bellucci, one of the great actors, not only of American cinema, but of Italian and French cinema. She's been doing, so it's this live performance. It's called Maria Callas, Letters and Memoirs, where it's sort of a one-man show, one-woman show. She's been doing it since 2019, reading the letters and memoirs of famed opera singer Maria Callas. So we're going to be talking about what it's been like to sort of embody this person off and on through the years in this way. It's very different from just shooting a film role, even a television role. So I want to talk about that, and we'll hear the general story of what attracted her to the role of Maria Callas, how it even ties back a little bit to the work that she did in Mozart in the Jungle back in the early 20-teens. We'll get into that. Of course, we're going to talk music. I mean, Maria Callas was an opera singer, so we're going to talk a little opera, and we'll talk some of the other performances that Monica has been a part of, musically speaking, and some of her famous movies like Matrix. You know, she wasn't in the new Matrix. I want to know if she even was called up and offered, and she's got a new one on the way starring opposite Toni Collette in a film called Mafia Mamma. So it's going to be all that and much more, mainly discussing Maria Callas' letters and memoirs. It's Kyle Meredith with Monica Bellucci. First off, it's such a pleasure to meet you. You've been doing Maria Callas' letters and memoirs. You've got another show coming up at the Beacon in New York on January 27th. And this is something you've been doing for a few years now, right? Since 2019, I think, at least. What's it been like actually sort of being in a character off and on for this long?
But when you like one project, then you like to give life to a character that is so important for you, because maybe it touches something that you can really know what it is. It's something deep, and this is what happened actually when I met this incredible woman, Maria Callas, because actually in our show we represent more Maria than Callas. And the thing is that it's a new approach for me completely. I learned so many things about my work, and even my relation with the public is a new thing for me, because it's completely different from cinema. It's so direct. It's like if we share the same breath for 1 hour and a half, and there is something very sincere, very artisanal in the process of making a show. So it's not something that I get bored actually, because every time I'm so scared, and it's like the first time, each time, because we change theaters all the time and languages. We do the show in 3 different languages, French, Italian, and English. So it's not like if I get used to. And every time I say to myself, why I'm doing this actually, because it's such a strong emotion. It takes me 2 days after each show to go back to normal, because all the theaters are very big with so many people. And we started in Paris 3 years ago, as you said, in a nice, beautiful, small theater. So the thing is that we started in Marigny, which is a small theater in Paris, like 400 people, and then we were in Greece, in Erode Atticus, with 4,000 people each night. And so, I mean, and every time is a new experience. And then we went to Italy. We did the Rome, Paris, London. We did Istanbul, Greece, Portugal, Monte Carlo. Yeah. So now for the first time in New York. So in some way, when everything started, because Tom Wolfe did this beautiful documentary about Maria Callas, and called Maria by Callas, and he did a beautiful research, including into Maria's letters, and those letters were so beautiful that he had the idea to make a show, and he asked me to be part of it, and then when I read the letters and the memoirs, they were so full of emotions and vulnerability that I couldn't say no, because I had really the feeling that I could touch her soul. And the first time I met Maria Callas as a character was when I did a TV series called Mozart in the Jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I was making a research about opera singers. So and then of course, you know, I was I've done research about Caballé and Trebuchet and Maria Callas, but I knew the artist, I knew the great opera singer and the actress, because she was also an amazing actress somewhere, but not the not the person. And through those letters and memoirs, I really felt that she was such an incredible person, because what really moved me into this project was the duality between the diva and the divina, the donna's immense talent, and a woman with a simple heart, the one who died of sadness, of broken heart.
Mm-hmm. That's
So here again.
right. And to keep coming back to it, and hearing about, of course, those threads, as you said, even back to Mozart in the Jungle. And well, I mean, were you, you know, we've all, I think, if you're a music fan or even just a pop culture fan, you know, a lot of us have heard of Maria Callas through the years. Were you an opera fan as well? I mean, what's your general musical lane?
But I mean, of course, some operas, yeah, of course, like La Tosca, you know, all those incredible Norma Tosca, all those incredible operas. And the one I was hearing all the time before going on scene was Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one special Carmen that she represents in Hamburg. And she was incredible at that moment, not just because she was a great, incredible performer, but also because I could feel a woman in love. So she was full of energy, and when she's singing this Carmen, this special one, really, she gave me so much energy, and that's why I used to love to hear these colors before going on scene, because it was just you know, so alive, so full of emotion, and she was fire.
Yeah. Well, and it should be pointed out, I mean, as we talk about, you know, while you are playing an opera singer, you're playing the Maria parts, and so this isn't a musical, but you've like, I was looking back at some of the points you've dipped your toe into the music world. Anita and the Girl in the Fountain soundtrack, you're on that. You recently collaborated with Ibrahim Malouf, which I love. I love what that guy does and everything. But when you're doing a musician,
I'm not a singer.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, say I was talking, not singing.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you kind of come into the music world a little bit like that. When you're taking on a musician, though, even in a non-musical parts, like, is there something else that you have to give it because that side of it is there?
Um, I think the way how you pose your voice, because even though you don't sing, but you have to give an emotion, a strong emotion. So the way how you project the voice, the way how you represent the different period of time, because actually in the beginning, I mean, as I said, in the play we depict more Maria than Callas, so we represent different parts of her life. So even the voice is changing during the show, because in the beginning she's very young, full of hope, discovery of success and everything, and then there is her maturity, tainted with the difficulty of finding a balance between her work and her private life, and then the last years of her life, where she handled her melancholy with extreme elegance. So the voice changed all the time, and so it becomes voices like music, in another way, but you project a sound, and people, they need to feel something through your voice. So it's an instrument, not like you're singing, but it's an instrument anyway.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you made a point to say that you weren't singing on those collaborations, but it was still very musical. And I know a lot of folks who would still count on some musicians, even with just talking. Those are fantastic collaborations, by the way. Just compliments on that. Do you see that? What do you all talk? Is this just for the stage? Is there a version of what you all are doing now that could make it to the screen as well?
Yeah, we are doing a documentary about this long tour that we made in 3 years, and it's such a coincidence actually that we end in New York, because Maria Callas was born in New York in 1923, and we end the show in 2023. So it's such a beautiful coincidence, actually.
Wow. Wow. I hadn't put that together. And dates and how your birthday is September 30th, correct?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
Mine too. I just, not that means, but nice coincidence on birthdays there. That's as I talk about a little bit about movies, I know we got a few minutes left. You got Mafia Mamma coming up with Toni Collette. I saw the trailer on that. I don't know what you can say about it. What was that experience like, especially working with Toni?
Well, Toni, she's amazing. She has an incredible energy, and we really love to work together. And it was very fun to make this comedy about mafia, but with a feminine twist. So we shot between New York and Rome, and so I can't wait to see the movie, because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it goes along the line of you playing these powerful women. I mean, whether it's Maria, even whether it's Persephone back in the Matrix, which, by the way, were you asked? I mean, they didn't bring you back for the new one, right? Was that ever brought up? Did you that you might have been in the new series?
No, actually no. But for me, it was such a beautiful experience to be part of that project, really. And it was fun because, as I said all the time, I was in Paris and I went to see Matrix, and I said, "Oh my God, I would love to be in a movie like that." And then I went to Los Angeles. I did a screen test, and I had the chance to work in this project. I was so happy, really. I really had, it was an amazing moment for me.
Yeah. Would you have come back if the character had been written?
But why not?
Why not? That's true. But that's it, again, and I'll end with this, is that as we talk about these strong characters, I mean, even, that word is thrown around with diva, like in A Girl in the Fountain. I guess the simple question is, what draws you to these type of roles that you do so well?
But our opportunity, they come to you. It's easy to make choices when the opportunity come, and to play those women. But at the same time, Anita Ekberg and Maria Callas, they were in the same period of time, if we think about it. Women in a man's world, some way. So they were fighters. And I think that women today learn a lot from a women like that.
Yeah. I mean, it
Even
does go
Maria
to say it.
she was a fighter because she wanted to divorce in a moment where divorce was forbidden in Italy. And also she had the courage to follow her heart. And not many women have the possibility to live life with such a strong emotion. And And so when people say that she had a tragic life, maybe we should say that she led a brave life.
Yeah. That's what I say, the greatest pieces of art are ones that can take in the past and make it speak to the present. And I think a lot of what you're saying is, so important that we hear today. So, keep doing what you're doing, because we're such a fan of what you do every single time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. And again, congratulations on this amazing run as Maria Callas. And I'm looking forward to seeing the documentary and this final show. Again, The Beacon in New York, January 27th. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Thank you.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.